Aaron Noland, Emory Williams, do you go for sure and get a veteran quarterback with experience?
Sorry, and then Hayes Fawcett also, in case people are just, okay, I needs to be from Hayes Fawcett. He also 4 minutes ago tweeted that out. So boom, there we go. The search continues. I think that we need to get somebody. I'm not necessarily sure. Yeah, just kind of have to reset. Really. I saw Caden Salter sign with Colorado to go battle out against Juju Lewis next year. Interesting. I've long held on here that I believe Miami wants it to be Emory Williams next year. So maybe they're operating under that foundation. I don't know. But I do think that you need to go get somebody because you only have 3 in the room right now with Emory, Judd, and then Luke Nickel. Chi-Town Kane in the chat asks if we don't land Mateer, didn't. And we're comfortable letting Emory and Luke battle it out and maybe a less talented portal pickup. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. And it would be very interesting to see if Luke Nickel is able to really assert himself into the conversation going into his true freshman season. This is a kid who I saw my boy Steve, what up Gucci, tweeted about, basically if you have him as a 3-star, get it right and do your job. But this is a kid who, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So ends his career on a 25-game winning streak in high school, 2 state championships in Georgia's 5A classification. Last year, they went through 3 of the top 4 seeds in the playoff, and the only one of those that they did not themselves beat lost to one of the other top 4 seeds, right? So they slayed all those dragons on the road pretty much, won that state championship, then says, cool, I'm going to elevate everything that I do. We're going 15-0 and finishes number 2 in the country in the mythical high school national championship rankings. Like, this is a team that beat everybody. They played, I have a friend from Georgia. Apparently, it's Houston County. It's spelled like Houston, Texas, but it's Houston County with Antoine Lee. That team had been beating people by 53 points average per game until they ran into Luke Nickel and lost by 4 touchdowns. Then you go through all these other teams, and like Luke Nickel was that guy. It started last year, that run, and it was like, oh my God, well, Milton, they've been good in the past, but wow, he led them to this this remarkable championship, this underdog championship. It said, cool, we're not the underdogs anymore. We the big dogs, and went through and smacked everybody. Went 21 of 22 for like 415 yards and 5 touchdowns in the state championship game or something like that. Like, yo, this kid is a major talent. He's going to be a mid-upper tier 4-star recruit, going to enroll early. It will be interesting, but from a sheer numbers standpoint, I need somebody else in that room because 3 scholarship quarterbacks is simply just not enough. So we do need somebody. Won't be Mateer, but I'll be interested to see where things go.
But it doesn't necessarily for you have to be an experienced quarterback.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I would prefer it, but if I can get good talent, like if I can get an Aaron Noland kind of talent, and then that's the 4 with Emory, Judd, Aaron Noland, and Luke Nickel, then I'm fine with it. But no, we don't have to go get somebody's starter from last year. And honestly, I think that we should be looking at talent and potential over actual production, because the one guy with production was John Mateer, and there is no Cam Ward in the portal this year. There is not somebody who, is like, oh, wow, he's going to be potentially the number 1 overall NFL draft pick. There is not that guy. So I'm fine if you go on, athleticism and potential more than proven production.
There's not even a line of players like Cam Ward, Dylan Gabriel, Will Howard. Who else was out there last year? It was a pretty KJ Jefferson, Will Rogers. There was a pretty long list of Tyler Shook. of guys that were really good.
Yeah. And I mean, super talented. Like, Shuck had his flaws, but like he has arm talent. Like his arm has plenty of juice. So yeah, I don't think that there's the quality, neither the quality nor the quantity in the portal is the same as it was last year at quarterback specifically. But I do think that there probably is somebody out there that Miami can go get. And we'll see how things move out going forward. But like I said, I believe they want it to be Emory. And even with that belief that I hold, right, that I believe that they want it to be Emory, they'll still probably, you got to bring in enough talent to run the program. So yeah, I would expect it happening, but it doesn't need to be somebody's starter who's going to just step in day one and, lead this team.
Have you seen this Anthony Calandria with Virginia? I think he's a good player.
I don't. I think that he's scattershot. He's, like he's a very, like, I don't even want to say, but like he's small. I don't necessarily like his arm. He throws the ball in harm's way a lot. Like, I'm not a fan of Anthony Calandria, even as like a depth piece, because like you get all of the turnover shenanigans that you worried about with Cam Ward with like a fractional amount of the playmaking ability. In my mind, nah, I'm not. Not a fan. Not a fan.
He was at Ole Miss today.
Enjoy the trip to the Grove, brother. But yeah, nah, I'm not.
I thought he was better than that. I knew that he put the ball in harm's way, but he's always working with a talent deficit most of the time.
Right, but he's also part of that talent deficit. Like I don't. That does not excite me much.
Falconer says Miami wins with guys who want Miami the only way.
Absolutely. So we'll find the guys who want to be here. Might have to pay a little for a couple of guys to, if they're undecided, to help decide for them. I'm sorry, I'm messing with stuff on my desk in front of this microphone, and then just keep it pushing. But yeah, we need to find the guys that want to be here and win with them.
John Bird says, just win the Poptart Bowl and go from there. Love listening to you both. Go Miami Hurricanes.
Thanks, John, man. You've been active in the chat today. Really appreciate that. And yeah, look, while we are talking about roster construction and everything, yes, we do need to focus on going and winning the bowl game. Damian Martinez has said that he's going to play. Cam Ward says that he's going to play. Xavier Restrepo said that he's undecided if he's going to play and needs to meet with his representatives. I have a couple good friends and I have several good friends, but two of them specifically hit up our group chats and like hit me on Twitter and was like, cool, so this shows me that playing in the bowl game was part of Cam Ward's NIL deal and not part of Restrepo's. Might not be wrong. We'll see, but I'm hopeful that Restrepo plays because he's our number one most productive receiver from his position. So yeah, it would be 11 wins and spinning that forward. And again, look, you're going to have that bowl game while the portal's still open. And I know, in the world, what have you done for me lately? What was the last thing that we saw from you? I would like, beating a team who played for their conference championship, getting to 11 wins for the first time in 20 something years, and then going into the rest of the portal and moving into the offseason. That would be much better than the opposite. So I'm hopeful that we win that game and we'll see what happens next Saturday.
Cam Ward's playing. Nice.
Yeah. And has reiterated that when directly asked multiple times, like ahead of the Heisman Trophy ceremony, like, is doing his media rounds and everything. So, you're going to, yep. Like he said it many a time.
I think this is one of the best bowl matchups. Of course, outside the playoff, it's one of the best bowl matchups. This game, if both teams are reasonably intact, which they should be. I think Iowa State, well, I don't know, I shouldn't speak to it, but their quarterback's back next year, so he should be playing.
Yeah. So, and I mean, yeah, we'll see. But I mean, will be the final time to watch Cam Ward in Miami Hurricanes colors, and that's going to be a show. So let's make that happen.
It was explained to me this week, Cam, that the trophy for the Pop-Tarts Bowl actually has a functioning toaster in the trophy Okay.
This is correct. Nicole Auerbach from NBC Sports wrote about that. Like the Pop-Tarts Bowl has put that up and everything. So yeah, they actually engineered. It's a football on top and has 2 slots in there, and it's a functioning toaster. Actually, so it was a thing that like people kind of joked about with last year's trophy, and they said, "Hold my beer. We'll see you next year." And they actually made it happen. So, yeah, the Pop Tarts Bowl has like, it's not a playoff game or anything, but like it's definitely gotten more media coverage than just your run of the mill bowl game. So that's been mildly exciting.
The winning school should take that to the student union and have everybody bring their favorite Pop Tarts and then stand in line and toast their Pop Tarts.
I'm sure that Pop Tarts would just subsidize that. Be
Or
like,
yeah,
hey,
subsidy.
do a
Exactly.
pop
Yeah.
up installation. We like, yeah, it's very easy. I'm thinking back to the breezeway at on UM's campus, right next to the old student center, and across from the bookstore. You could do it in there. You could take it down to the Shalala Center, the new student center that's right there on the lake, and yeah, you could do on the UC patio, bro. Easy, light work.
I am
Eddie, great
scurrying to
question.
find the quarterback rankings in the transfer portal to see who's still available that has a pulse.
Yeah, I mean that is important. Where is that? Is what I was looking for. And then we go by.
Here we go. I got them to be posted in seconds. We've got John Mateer off the board, Luke Kromenhoek to Mississippi State, Fernando Mendoza, who Cam does not like. He's another
He's
Anthony Calandria type.
he's fine, but like I would have definitely preferred Kromenoak. I think that's a sneaky good get for Mississippi State. I really do. I think he's very physically talented.
I learned on our Florida State show tonight that he was sacked 25 times in 84 dropbacks.
Yeah,
How is that possible? That's
their offensive line is trash. I mean, you
that's
saw it like that. He held the ball a little bit. I mean, there were a couple of times, even in our game when he came in and just up the game was too fast. That linebacker flashed under, the intermediate route kind of stuff. But yeah, they were getting beat just time and time and time again.
if you dropped back 40 times a game, you would be getting sacked 12
12
times
times.
every game.
Yeah. Malik Murphy, I was definitely higher on last year than this. Connor Wegman is somebody who I thought maybe we could kick the tires on.
Yeah.
The thing about him is that he's very, very, very talented, but you can't make the club in the tub. He's been so injured over the course of his
Houston?
career. He's from Texas,
I
man.
thought he was going to do better than that.
I think that he just wanted to go close to home and then just try to do something there. I thought that he was going to go to a higher level school than that as well, but hey. Miller Moss is kind of Tyler Shuck light. He's more accurate than Shuck, but doesn't have the arm that Shuck does. Darian Mensah going to Duke to replace Malik Murphy. Jackson Arnold, super talented, going to Auburn. But yeah, I mean, of this group that there's there, I would say Aaron Noland would probably be my number one. It'd be interesting to see what Michael Van Buren is a guy that had talked about or mentioned last week. He's going to LSU. Go back up real quick, just right there. Bo Prabula from Penn State would be interesting. I know that he's super athletic. I don't know that I trust him as a thrower of the ball. And like we've seen, you have to be able to throw the ball as well. So that would be an interesting one. Zach Calzada was somebody because he has a gigantic arm, but he's going to Kentucky. I don't want the Sluka kid because he quit on his team early. Yeah, I don't know. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And again, I think there might be some more, entrance to the portal down the road. But of the available group at present, I would say probably Aaron Noland would be where I would prefer to look. and anything else, just really leans into the fact of Emery's development needing to pop off. And Preston Stone, if this is 2 years ago, I would be ecstatic, but it's not 2 years ago. So same thing with
Well,
Malachi Nelson. If it was 2 years ago, you're talking about 5-star quarterback, number one in America, but but I even heard from some people in the recruiting world that he was overhyped and doesn't have the physical traits that people said that he did, and I think that's bearing itself out to be true. Sorry.
okay. I have heard the same thing about Malachi Nelson. Now, in terms of Preston Stone, he just lost out to a more athletic quarterback. He had a really good season last year.
Yeah, but he was also
28
playing
TDs, 6 picks.
right, but he was playing poorly too. So it wasn't just more like Jennings is not only more athletic than Preston Stone. He's like a better player. Like because Preston Stone, whatever he did last year, he's not hit it. He didn't hit that level. So yeah, it had to happen. So I don't know. Yeah, we keep going down that list, but I really think it would be for me, Aaron Nolan, and we'll see.
Okay. Did as you took in that list, did you in any way have any, not that you would have ranked it exactly the same way, but in general, do you think 247 is attacking these rankings correctly from what you've seen?
Yeah, I can get down with that. Like, with like understanding the scaling of their star system and everything, and then like taking into account like what they've done on the field and the potential and like timeline horizon, all of those things. No, Sadan Long. I do not want Tyler Van Dyke back. Thank you very much. Wish
I
you
didn't see him
well.
on the list.
Because he's probably further down on that list. And because he got injured in week 3, but I mean, yeah, he can. No, thank you. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Still have, the rookie of the year from 2021 plaque or whatever up in the football offices. And we just, no. There are times that I disagree with like how they're running the rankings, but like, I don't, especially for the portal, I don't necessarily, I mean, I disagree a little bit with some. Like, it's hard for me, and I get that maybe you talk about the the remaining years of eligibility. It's hard for me to say that Aaron Noland is a higher caliber or higher ranked prospect in the transfer portal than Caden Salter. You know what I mean? Like, that's one, like little microcosm. But in general, I think that they're okay. Yeah, I don't really have a major problem with it.
We do appreciate you being here at the Voice of College Football. It's our Wednesday Hurricanes live show. We'll have to figure out what to do next week, if anything. It is Christmas.
Yeah, it is. I mean, hey, we can be flexible and maybe have a pop-up on a different day. But yeah, next week on Christmas night, I will be with my family. I wish all of you a happy holiday season, regardless of what holiday you celebrate. But hopefully it is celebrated well and with family and friends. But I will not be here doing this very show next week, Wednesday. That's just not going to happen.
Yes, I will be visiting my beautiful daughter and my son and his new wife.
Yeah, man.
Well,
it says Emery should be our starter. He's better than what we're pursuing. Get a QB just for competition and don't overpay. At this point, if you miss out and have missed out on Mateer, I agree with that. Again, yeah, I think that you need 4 quarterbacks just to effectively run a program and have the numbers that you need. But unless something crazy happens, like I said, I've said this for weeks. Even during the season, I believe Miami wants it to be Emery next year, and yeah, I think that, you run the quarterback battle like you normally would through spring, through fall. Whoever that's there, is the best guy for the job. Boom. Like, I don't think that we need to anoint Emery in January and say he's going to be the guy in August. or anything like that. I don't think we need to do that. But, hey, give pretty equal reps, develop everybody and let it kind of shake itself. It's kind of, it's funny. I was talking about, tree shaking and whatnot back when I was in band and in choir, because y'all know that, I went to school for music. But, you kind of had to show and prove that you were ready. Even, in University Chorale, we had these very challenging pieces of music because, I read fluent music and everything. And it's like, oh, it's not necessarily coming together like we would like. Great. We're going to go down the line. Cameron, Kier, Matthew, Brandon, and whatever the section was, like, you got to do it in front of the entire elite ensemble. So it's basically like, if you were on the football field, just say, cool, I need the quarterbacks to go do this one thing while everybody watches. Been there. So yeah, I think that the cream rises to the top in that kind of thing, and everything gets separated. So you can't hide in the group at a certain point, and I don't think that we should. So yeah, just roll the ball out there, let everybody do their thing, and then in the end, whoever is the best option to win the most games, you go with that.